And I feel like that's why he is the best out of all the 4 starter champions. What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are currently on the test server, guys. We're gonna have a look at Supreme Galek. Finally, I got the time to jump on it and check that bad boy out. And let's see, was I right about him? Is he really the best out of the 4 champions? He brings quite a few interesting things as well. Of course, we're gonna give it a run to check the damage. We're gonna see what other things he can do. Now, I don't think he's an arena nuker by any means. Not at all, actually. But I do feel like he has pretty good potential all around for dungeons, for Hydra and stuff like that. So we're gonna check what he's made of. Yesterday, we've done a guide on Elhain. We checked Supreme KL out as well. And you guys will get to decide what you think about the champions once you're gonna check out the videos if you haven't done it just yet. But Supreme Galek. So how I mentioned, the very first build that we're gonna try is gonna be a damage build. And that's only to check what sort of damage he can drop, right? We want to see if he can smack or no. And if we're quickly going to pay attention to multipliers and stuff, because I didn't have a chance to show them to you guys yesterday when we were doing the video on Supreme KL. But they all have pretty much very similar stats, at least in terms of attack, you know, 1,500 and a bit, or around there, more or less. And of course, in terms of multipliers, it seems like they're not doing too bad. Supreme KL, how I mentioned yesterday, he does seem to have the highest multipliers out of all of them. So that's for KL right there, 4.6 on the A2, 4.4 on the A3. Supreme Galek on the A1, 2.1, on the A2, 1.65 because he's a quadruple hit. On the A3, a 4.6 multiplier. We have Supreme Atel, 2.7, 3.8, 4. Very, very weak multipliers. Actually, it's pretty disappointing to see that. And Supreme Elhain, we already knew that. I've managed to calculate this together with Seth the day before. 2.4.6 point. So they have decent multipliers. KL and Galek, they're not meant to be arena nukers by any means. But they can still do some damage if you're taking them in dungeons and stuff like this, so we gotta keep that in consideration as well. So because we're gonna check out the damage, we gave him a Savage set, 7.6k attack, 167 speed, 93% crit rate. The good part about Galek is that you only need 90% crit rate for him to crit. He has an extra 10% from all his skills, which is great. 300 crit damage. Now, with the A1, attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has an extra 10% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Each hit also has a 40% chance, fully booked 60%, of increasing the duration of any HP burn debuffs on the target by 1 turn. With A2, attacks 4 times at random, places an increased attack buff on this champion for 3 turns, and then 10% extra crit rate, and 100% chance of instantly activating any HP burn debuffs on each target and decreasing the duration of those HP burn debuffs by 1 turn. Fills the champion's turn meter by 30% if 3 or more HP burn debuffs are activated during the attack. A lot of you guys are always saying, I want to get another ninja, I want to get ninja, I want to get ninja. Now, I'm not saying that Supreme Galek is the next ninja, but they have very similar sort of things in the kit. Of course, he doesn't have the same passive with ninja that increases his attack and crit damage, but he's detonating HP burn, similar with Krohnam, similar with Dark KL as well. So I feel like he can definitely put in some serious work when we are talking about damage. With the passive right here, whenever this champion receives a fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, sleep, stun, petrification debuff, instantly removes it, then fully heals this champion and grants an extra turn. And this is on a 4-turn cooldown. He's gonna grant the extra turn, dropping it out to a 3-turn cooldown, and you're gonna be able to rotate pretty often the passive. And of course, this is for himself only. The A3 attacks all enemies, has an extra 10% chance of inflicting a critical hit, and fully booked 100% chance to land HP burn and block buffs debuff for 2 turns. Also places decreased speed debuff on targets whose turn meter is higher than 50%. So this is actually a very solid hit all around. I'm definitely a fan of Supreme Galek. Can't complain about it. He has a 33% attack aura for all battles as well, which is great. Masteries, we went with offense. That's pretty much everything that matters. I clicked on sniper from a mistake. I didn't change them yet. I'm gonna change them when we're gonna change the build, and we're gonna go in Hydra when we're gonna get War Master. But at the moment we have just typical masteries for a nuker. We're gonna do a couple of runs on stage 23. We're gonna see what sort of damage he drops in there, and then we're gonna change the build, and we're gonna take him in some PvE content and kind of like see what he's really made of. So we can remove her. I haven't tested the other champions with their attack lead in front either, so I'm not gonna do it for Galek at the moment. We're just gonna take him in for a spin, see the animations, and of course see the damage, you know. But here we are, giving me that increased attack, even though he's gonna put it on himself as well. So the good thing about it is that he doesn't need increased attack if you're opening with this skill, but you kind of want to open with the other skill to land the HP button, then to activate it with the other, you know. And we're gonna go in with this skill. Let's see the animation. Okay, pretty nice, pretty nice. And then we actually managed to one shot there as well. So considering what multipliers he has, the damage is pretty good. 4.7 are higher multipliers than Foley, than Astrolon, and quite a few other champions in the game. So keep that in mind as well. Let's check the A1 as an idea. We're gonna try to hit that Renegade. Okay, move a bit faster, game. Come on. Okay, so we're gonna go with the A1. Very similar animations with what he had before, of course. So if we're gonna come back at it again, let's go on replay. We're gonna attempt to use the other skill now, which is the A2. It's kind of like to check a bit the damage here as well. Nice animation, okay, pretty nice, pretty decent damage to per hit. This one got a couple of extra hits in there, so that's not too bad at all, actually. It does do some damage. The animations are different on the A2 and A3 from what I've noticed so far. And let me just do a different thing now. So I'm gonna try to just bring in another defense down champion. I think I'm gonna chuck in here Tomb Lord. Let's go with Tomb Lord, and then I'm gonna land the HP burn with Venus, so we can use his A2 while we have HP burn on as well. And here we are, defense down, attack down, pretty much on everybody almost. And now we can actually use this skill. So HP burn activating on everybody, pretty nice to drop quite a big chunk of damage like that. That's what I'm gonna like on bosses. I feel like for the new Ice Golem, he's gonna be pretty interesting. You might want to avoid in building him with too much damage there, but we're gonna see how it works. On the dragon, he can be interesting because we have block buffs, so the dragon won't be able to increase his attack like that. And of course, even on the spider on the lower stages, might be pretty decent. Even on the high stages, if we can make it work, we're gonna give it a go and see kind of like what we can get out of him. First, I do want to try him on Hydra because his kit clearly screams Hydra to me. So we're gonna change his build. We're gonna put him on a Relentless. We're gonna replace Acrisia in my Nightmare team, and we're gonna attempt to do a run and see the damage in there. So let's change the Masteries quick. Low game. We're still gonna go on an accuracy build. We can actually go Cycle of Magic. We can get Lord of Steel, and we can get Master Hexer because we are going with a PvE build. We don't really need to have all the crazy damage masteries on, you know. And we can do that. And right here, nothing really will benefit him a lot. Lasting Gifts will, but because we're gonna go and do some dungeons as well, we're gonna go and get Kill Streak, you know. So we change the masteries. I'm gonna give him an accuracy banner, of course, so that's something that we're gonna have to change. Let's see what do we have. 15 attack, 11 speed, 11 speed, 12 attack. Maybe we have something a bit juicier. I'm not 100% sure. No attack on that one. That's pretty slow. Okay, we can take this from Seer. This gives us a good amount of attack. We can still keep this ring with attack. 3 damage amulet. We're gonna chuck a glyph on it, just to gain a bit of extra stats, accuracy, attack, and all the good things that we need. considering that he's gonna buff himself with increased attack, he can potentially be a decent mischief target. Because we have the block buffs, we shouldn't stress about it too much either, you know. So let's just... I'm gonna try to keep the cruel set maybe on him and just change the rest. So we do need to have attack. That's the one thing to keep in mind. This might be a bit squishier than the other champions that we're planning to use in here, but we're gonna see how it plays out, you know. So let's see, do we have a decent attack chest piece from here with speed and crit rate? If no, we're gonna have to get a different one. So probably I'm gonna change the gloves as well then, and I'm gonna try to hybrid him a bit, give him a bit of survivability as well. So we're gonna take this speed. No, we're gonna go with perception actually, because we're gonna cover the accuracy. I'm gonna need quite a bit of accuracy to make sure it's gonna play out good. So we're gonna go with that chest piece. We're gonna go with crit damage gloves, speed, crit rate. Let's see what we have available from Relentless. These are pretty nice actually. I do know that I have some better ones. Okay, so we have those on a Supreme Kale. Let's take them away from him. He's not gonna need them now. And then we want to have speed, crit rate on the top pieces. Let's make that smaller. Okay, seems like they're all open. So we're gonna go all the way down to Relentless. Let's pick some of the best things that we have available. This is decent. Drops a bit of accuracy. So if we don't find anything that will give us accuracy on the shield and the other pieces, we're gonna have to play around a bit with it. The good thing is that I can drop a bit of crit rate, you know, so that's definitely a great thing to do. What else do we have in here? Come on, speed, crit rate, bit of accuracy maybe. I gotta check them all, because even if I don't find something with accuracy, I might find the attack or other things. This is decent. We get some survivability, so let's keep that for the moment. No accuracy there. This does have a accuracy, so let's try that out for the moment. His accuracy is a bit low. We have too much crit rate. So let's check boots now. We're gonna put speed main, drop the speed from there. We don't really need that much crit rate. Let's focus on some accuracy. These are very nice boots actually from Cardiel. These again are nice, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna use that husk or no. Okay. I wish they would show you, like, we already have the system of marking the champions if we have dupes. I wish they would show you that on the gear as well, so you know from which champion you will be taking the gear away, you know. Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. Defense, accuracy, and crit rate. Okay, so we're gonna take that away. Like, he might be a little bit too fast for what we need to do, but it's not gonna be the end of the world. So now, again, we're gonna drop that. We're gonna keep those boots, and we're gonna go and look for speed and accuracy pieces from perception. The crit rate is spot on, so we're gonna need to cover the crit rate actually from some different pieces. The weapon might be a good place to start with, because we don't have accuracy on it. This is actually pretty nice. It does give me too much crit rate, but it gives me the right amount of accuracy that I need to have on. So let's see if something... okay, this is actually juicy as well. So we can go with this. 90 crit rate spot on, 248 crit damage, only 4.7k attack, which is fine because we haven't went all in on attack on the champion. He has accuracy banner and the rest of the things. We want to see how he performs like this. In terms of survivability, is honestly not that amazing. We can definitely consider in changing the ring. But let me just quickly make a bit of space. Seems like I gotta sell a couple of pieces. Maybe I gotta sell more than a couple of pieces. Do I have anything from some crappy set that I'm not using at the moment and I gotta get rid of? Okay, that's one piece. That's another one. Do we have enough space now? No, we gotta sell a couple more. Okay. Story of my life. Loaded on gear. Okay. Let's just sell everything. Let's just sell everything. Maybe then we're gonna have the space that we need. Okay. Here we are. Relentless and Perception. I can definitely glyph him a bit to get a bit of more survivability because we are doing Hydra Nightmare. We're not doing the lower tiers. That's another thing to keep in mind. So let's change a bit the ring. Let's see if we have a nice HP or a defense ring equipped that has some attack on it as well. This is decent, but I want to cover both of the things. You know, HP, this doesn't give me attack, so I'm losing 700 attack. This is decent HP. We have defense. We have pretty much everything. I'm still losing some attack, quite a bit actually. But as long as I get to keep him alive. Okay, this is even better. This is actually gorgeous. Let's get that on. So we covered that. Do we need some glyphs on here? I can actually try to drop a 6-star one. Okay. Jackpot. Let's see what do we have here. We don't have attack on this. But that's one thing that keeps us a bit down as well. I would have preferred to drop maybe the crit damage for more attack on that weapon, but it's fine. I can roll more attack on here and more HP. Beautiful. That will give us a bit of survivability, you know. I'm not even gonna try to give him more speed. I feel like he's definitely fast enough. Have plenty of accuracy now. I can roll some more attack and HP on here. It's gonna give us a bit of more damage, more survivability. Come on, Glyph. Don't fail me anymore. Okay, that looks better. 7% is much better than 3%, guys. We got a 5. We're gonna be happy with that. We're not gonna waste all the glyphs. Let's roll that flat defense. 30 or 40 more defense is more than welcome, and I feel like the boots had a bit of room for glyphs as well. And there we go. We got him spot on now. Total stats: 44k HP, 4.3k attack, 2.4k defense. Similar with what you would have on a Geomancer, more or less. You might be able to get a bit of more HP on him. 252 speed, 90 crit rate, 248 crit damage, 373 accuracy, and we're gonna try to keep the same build for dungeon runs as well. If we're gonna get there, we're gonna see how it goes. So moving over to Hydra Clan Boss, Nightmare difficulty, advanced quest complete. Get out of there, thank you. Nightmare team. So I dropped Acrisia for him, and we're gonna go in like that. No room to bring a Geomancer in here because of the HP burn, and constantly detonating Geomancer's HP burn. It's definitely not gonna be the best idea that we're gonna have in here, you know. So let's go in. I forgot to stop one skill on Husk, so I can put it on auto. But you know what? Let's start it like this. We drop defense down, weaken, and now bang, Void Affinity. We have decreased speed on everybody. We have block buffs on everybody. We have HP burn on everybody. That's actually huge. And now we actually have an extra turn, so we can use this skill if we want. Bang, you see pretty good damage from all the HP burn. Hits on all of them. Now we can actually I don't even have the same rotation. I was like, where is the Head of Decay? I was so ready to provoke that bad boy, but seems like he's not on. So we're not gonna have to provoke nobody at the moment. So let's crack on it. Let it go on auto and see how it's gonna be played out. I'm curious to see how his damage compares with Husk. Now, one thing to keep in mind, he doesn't do enemy max HP hits. But having all those debuffs from the champion, I feel like they're huge. Because now I don't need to bring Ugo in, I can use Lydia. And even if you don't have a Chris, you're gonna be able to have the increased speed, have the strengthen buff, have the weaken on the enemy, and get lots of damage, you know. So that's gonna be awesome. Okay, we got a bit feared in here, which is fine. My Husk seems like he's getting targeted by the Head of Mischief in there. Okay, we lost the skill. That's fine. Slowly and surely we'll be getting there. Very, very curious to see the full potential, you know, in terms of damage. I don't think he started using the A1 just yet. Okay, extra turn, the power of Relentless. Nice HP burn again, decreased speed on most of them. This is such a massive advantage, man, to have decreased speed, the HP burn, and the block buffs in one skill. Of course, you're not gonna land the decreased speed every single time because it's conditional. The heads need to have over 50% turn meter. But that can happen most of the times because they're so fast, especially on Nightmare. Most of the times you're gonna catch them on over 50% turn meter, you know. Seems like we're melting them pretty good, actually. Nice. That's a nice damage there with the HP detonation. We gotta pay attention a bit at the total damage to see the jump in damage. Is it doing like 500,000 or something like that? I don't think I've noticed his passive to come in play just yet. Okay, block buffs again. No weak hits because he's Void Affinity, which is great. He's gonna have to die, so he's gonna get to heal a bit. Once touches, he's gonna be able to revive. It's so annoying that Duchess always targets the head of Torment and gets feared. It's just dumb. They need to fix the AI a bit. It's so annoying. Yes, we increased the duration of the HP burn there. We lost him, which is fine. I'm gonna have to stop it because that Duchess might actually attempt to bring it back, and she's feared. We want to make sure we're spot on that. So far, 10 million damage, turn 17. We can't really complain. Pretty good outcome. I'm not gonna try to revive because that's gonna happen. That's why you kind of like need to manual most of the times, man. It's a pain. Like the AI just doing random stuff that they shouldn't do, you know. It's definitely not a good thing. Again, you see, now we're gonna be able to do that now, and I should be able to let it go on auto. If I'm killing these heads, I actually want the Head of Torment to devour my my husk there. So I'm gonna let it go for a little while. I'm gonna target the other ones. I'm gonna stay away from the Head of Torment and then just melt it down completely. I'm gonna leave it for the other heads that are coming out. It's gonna be a bit harder to release my champion because they're gonna have the initial shield as well, and they might create me issues here. So let's go on like that. A1 extra turn, I like it. 34k, 36k. We're not gonna use the A3 because it's no reason at the moment. The decreased speed would help the other heads, but still they're gonna spawn out pretty quick because 3 of them are dead, you know. When you have more than 2 dead, they're literally just spawning out so damn quick. Sometimes they're like instantly skipping their turns, you know. Okay, so we got 1 out. Let's see, can we do that skill? No, we cannot. So let's see who's gonna taste my royal guard, my husk, not my royal guard. I was gonna say, we have no royal guards in here. This is a husk team. Okay, extra turn again. I'm liking those extra turns from Relentless. Let's do it, Galek. Let's do it. Nice. Okay. So you're gonna decide to devour my champion. You see, I tried to avoid that, but it's still not happening. So now let's just crack on it. Extra turn. Let's go and kill this Head of Torment because he's pretty annoying. There we go. And now, you know what? I'm just gonna let it go on full auto and let him do whatever. The Head of Suffering is gonna devour my champion, so I can't really dodge that anymore. Head of Mischief is back on duty. Turn 24, 14 million damage. That's fairly decent. Can't really complain about it. Of course, husks are doing pretty good numbers too. Okay, so we got our first husk devoured. We got my good friend out here for a play. The Head of Decay. We managed to provoke that without a problem. That's why I'm always opening with Krisk's A3 when I start the fight on auto to make sure he's gonna do the job. Block buffs. That's nice. So we got that covered. Hopefully we're gonna free our champion before he's gonna get the cleanse in, you know. Extra turn again, increasing the duration of the HP burn. Husk, are you gonna provoke or no? Okay, you freed our champion. You're safe. So it's actually pretty decent. Of course, the other champions are playing an important role. Creating the team is very important to create a nice synergy. 3% chance, my favorite thing in the game. But guess what? Supreme Galek coming in to save the situation with that block buffs, decrease speed, HP burn on everybody. So now the Head of Mischief can smack himself because he's not going to be able to send those buffs anywhere, which is definitely great. I gotta say, if would be a champion that they would add in a champion training tournament, like from the starters, I'm definitely gonna go all in to get Galek. I really like him, and I think he's gonna be useful on my account as well, and pretty much on everybody's account. You know, like you're definitely gonna have what to do with the champion, regardless where you are in the game. Okay, that was not a 3% chance because I have no accuracy on Husk. It seems like he just preferred the Husk over Krisk here. Turn 41, 19.8 million damage. We are passing the half mark for damaging here. Okay, we're keeping the Head of Decay provoked constantly, which is good. 5 more turns and my Lydia is gonna get devoured. So let's see who's gonna take a good bite out of her. Again, Duchess, what are you doing? You have weak affinity next to you. Why are you attacking your affinity? What are you doing? Or is she targeting the Head of Mischief and is getting redirected? I haven't paid attention. Maybe that's another thing that might happen in here. Okay. It's gonna be able to revive after. Again, I didn't pay attention to how much damage we're dropping with that skill, man. We gotta be more on the lookout. Okay, so we lost our Lydia, which is fine. Supreme Galek is gonna be the next one to get devoured. Husk dealt a pretty good blow to the Head of Suffering, so I should be getting closer to free my champion. The Head of Decay is about to cleanse if we're not landing a provoke on it. Luckily, Chris comes in and saves the situation. And now, bang, beautiful HP burn, decrease speed, block buffs on everybody. See how you're gonna catch them most of the times with 50% plus their meter. So the decrease speed is gonna drop in from him as well. Okay, let's just slow it down. I want to check the damage, you know. Okay, so we have that available. We have 23.47 million damage. Let's just see that. Okay, so it's 450k damage when he procs the A3 and he detonates the HP burn. Definitely not bad either. An enemy max HP hit on all the heads is around 1.1, 1.2 million, depending if we have any heads decapitated or stuff like this. Of course, that increases. But just on the general, it's actually pretty good. Pretty good damage. Yeah. And I'm not gonna leave the entire run, guys. I'm gonna fast forward towards the end. I'm gonna stop it once we're gonna hit the 1 key. I don't want to go all the way to 100 million for no reason. And we're gonna check his results in there, his total damage. So here we are, safe and sound. We reached the 1 key. Risk just got devoured, but we're gonna back out of it. We're gonna see the total damage here, and I gotta say I'm really happy with the results from Galek. Even without seeing the damage, I just see his full potential, the ability of bringing so many important things to the team. And if you check the damage as well, we have the first Husk with 12.3 million damage, we have Galek with almost 12 million damage, and we have Husk with 10.5 million damage. And yeah, I definitely think that out of all the starter champions, Galek, Supreme Galek, is my favorite, guys. We can keep the result. We're on the test server. It doesn't really matter at all, actually. So here we go. Mr. Galek in action. So if we're going to do a run on the dragon, we're going to see how he kind of like compares a bit with Theodore in here. He's going to bring his poisons. He's going to bring the HP burn. So we're going to have a bit of a fun in here. I haven't done a stage for... if we're going to give it a go on the dragon, guys, we're going to try stage 25. For a stage 10 on hard mode, it's gonna be pretty hard to use him in a combo at the moment. We gotta find out some different ways. The boss hits extremely hard and is gonna get one shot most probably, or if not one shot, the second hit is definitely gonna destroy him. I can make a team that's gonna be slower and just kill the waves with nukes and stuff like that instead of using Seer and just use some more support. But we're gonna go on stage 25 and see kind of like how he performs in here. This would normally be my classic dragon team, but instead of having Galek, I would have Battle Khazar. And it seems like Seer is just not gonna do enough damage in here without the buffs from Battle Khazar, because I don't have a shield set equipped on nobody here, you know. So that's gonna make a bit of a difference. We don't have a lot of buffs, at least on the first round, you know. But we got at the boss. Okay. We use the A2 instead of the A3 first here, seems like it. Come on. Drop that HP burn. It's not gonna be helpful with the A3 in terms of landing decreased speed, because we cannot land decreased speed on the dragon. But we got the HP burn, we got the block buffs. So now it's gonna be a bit of a play in between him and Theodore, you know. Nice, he activated that. 130k, 130k, pretty juicy. On the other stage, I gotta say, it is so different, man. It's so different on stage 10, you know. Extra turn, nice. Another extra turn proccing using the A3, beautiful. So the block buffs is constantly on, HP burn on. And it's actually pretty juicy. Nice. That was a nice detonation in there. We got all the HP burn. And we have Theodore with 1 million damage, Seer with 3.1, And we have Supreme Galek with 2.3 million damage. Very, very nice, actually. So it helps quite a bit to detonate the HP burn. I'm loving that. 1 minute and 12 seconds, a fairly decent time. So for Ice Golem, I'm gonna have to change the masteries to remove War Master and drop a bit his damage because, my god, I've done one run and I got one shot like in a second. Like I've never existed, you know? So I'm gonna change the amulet on him to something else that's not the crit damage. Okay, so we can get that one. We're gonna have plenty of accuracy anyway. I could change the rest of the crit damage and stuff, but hopefully it's not gonna trigger the passive too much, you know. So let's just go in like this. I'm not even gonna bother to go on the support, on the offense tree. Sorry, we're not gonna get anything for masteries in there. We're gonna leave it like this. I feel like I'm gonna have to change masteries on everybody, yeah, including on Lydia. So let's just get the accuracy. Let's get these. Poisons are not going to be very efficient against the boss guys, so one thing to keep in mind is not going to work the same. And I'm going to drop War Master on Seer too. I'm not going to keep that on, because that triggers the boss as well. I just kind of like want Seer to die once we get there, you know, so it's going to be a bit harder to make it happen. But let's go in like that. The rest doesn't really matter. We just want her to kind of like do the job, you know. And we have no more War Master on anyone now. Hopefully, this is gonna be a bit more successful than the first one, you know. My god, the boss literally just one-shot everybody. He didn't give a damn about any of them having shield and strengthen and anything like that. They just got wrecked like they've never existed, you know. Okay, so right here, you know what? It's just manual to make sure we're targeting the minions instead of the boss with the hits, so we're not actually doing a lot of damage. Okay, so we haven't proc War Masters now because we cannot do it, and if we're gonna do that, nice. So we dropped a bit of damage. We removed the HP burn completely. We decreased the max HP on the minions, which is nice. So let's just target the minions now, and we're gonna have to slowly go and kill them. You know, put the shield strengthen because we're gonna get wrecked in a second. If no, we're gonna get wrecked by that boss in a second. My god, he hit so hard. So let's increase the duration. Okay, we managed to do it once. We can do that. So we don't attack nobody with Seer. She seems to be pretty dangerous. Let's put the Hex on. Now I'm curious if some other things are triggering the passive on the boss. You know, like I don't think the HP burn should trigger it, but you never know. So we gotta pay attention to that as well. Let's just go on the minions. If we kill them, we might be a bit safer, you know. The boss might not completely wreck us. Okay. The fight of my life. Okay, let's increase that. We don't have HP burn on the boss at the moment, because we just activated it before, so we detonated all that. Okay. Kill that minions here. You can do it. You can do it. So oh, we're getting dangerous in here. Okay, 80k hits. Let's put the shield up. We don't want to risk it because there is no chocolate biscuit in here this time around. Okay, we actually got the refresh accessory to proc in here. I'm not gonna reset just yet with Kaimar. We're gonna give it another go. Don't trigger no passive. Don't trigger no passive because that's dangerous. Now we're gonna go with this. Beautiful, pretty good damage actually. You're dropping quite a bit of damage with the HP burn. Of course, I'm manualing. I haven't set a team after them just yet. I haven't created one, so we're gonna go in like this, and we just check the damage at the end. You know, it seems like it can potentially work pretty good here. You know, HP burn doesn't seem to trigger the passive on it, which is great. I can't remember from the previous stages because I never really used HP burn on the Ice Golem before, which it makes sense now. You wanna use the HP burn because you're melting him, right? It kind of like makes sense. Ice, fire. So good stuff that Plarium decided to do that. Seer, do not use your Karma Burn because that's gonna completely wreck me. Even with those minions down, I'm still worried about it. Not gonna lie about it. Like after I got that hit before, my god. I wanted to call my mama. I was so scared. That's how hard the boss hit me. There we go. Denied. You're not gonna revive them. Leave me alone. And we should be able to land more HP burn. And in a second, just use the A2 again. And of course, when a CC debuff drops on him, his passive is gonna come in play. And that can be helpful here as well, because he's gonna rotate pretty often, you know, so gonna be able to do the job. Nice drop on there. I feel like now we can let it go on auto. We're gonna be safe. The Ice Golem is not gonna completely destroy us. So let's see it in action. Bang. 3 minutes and 49 seconds. My god, Skratch. What a record. Not. Supreme Galek, 2.6 million damage. Seer, 4.1. She wiped the waves. Of course, she's gonna be doing bigger numbers. But I feel like if you're putting a team together with him in here, it's gonna be nice. I feel like it's gonna be pretty hard to keep him alive on the Ice Golem. So he might not be the best choice as an HP burn champion. Another thing to consider. But for Hydra or the Dragon, I feel like it's definitely gonna be pretty nice. That being said, guys, we are done with the showcase for Supreme Galek. He can deal damage, you've seen it at the beginning. Amazing for Hydra, pretty solid in dungeons as well. And I feel like that's why he is the best out of all the 4 starter champions. Lots of utility for him all around. Even if you're early, mid game or end game, still gonna benefit your account. Supreme KL, my opinion, he comes second, because once you reach the end game, you're not really gonna have much of a use for him, at least at the moment. Maybe in the future they're gonna bring new dungeons and it's gonna be super OP in there. But till then, yeah, you're gonna use him a lot for progression. But he's not like Theodore, not like Galvalex, he's not like Cisia, he's not like Royal Guard or Cold Hearts. Champions that will have a use all around in the game. It doesn't matter when you get the champions. You see, that's kind of like one thing as well about him. And then we have the other 2 starter champions, the Fusion, and then we have Aether, which we're gonna try in tomorrow's video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Appreciate all of you guys watching as usual. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.